Tyson and Paris, how are you doing today?
Oh,
Good,
good.
thanks, Joe.
Okay, first up, maybe a difficult one. Can you remember what day one was like filming this?
No, but I remember the beginning thinking like it was going to be so perfect all the time. I remember thinking like, I didn't want to put on a false face, but I wanted to look nice. I wanted to think like I'll wake up in the morning, put my makeup on, and I'll make sure the place is tidy. And that went out the window after like the first week. So yeah, you just on the show you'll definitely see no airs and graces on there because that went out the window pretty quickly.
Like shows like this throughout the years, like I remember, gosh, like 2 decades ago now, like I used to watch the Osbournes, I used to watch the Hills. Shows like this are, such a comfort and such a favorite of TV fans. Did you both, or do you both have a particular reality show like this that you could call your own favorite?
I don't think I've watched
I
that
remember
reality.
watching the Osbournes
I
as
remember
well.
watching them. I remember like him shouting, "Sharon, there's shit on the carpet." I remember that vividly. But I was really young when that was out. I do. I remember. But I think people really gravitate towards these shows because it's real. I think if it's real, then you would watch it. I remember being only a young girl watching.
Were they
the
the first
Osbournes.
ones, the Osbournes?
I don't know, but I
Like the
remember
first
watching
reality
them.
show.
I'd say they'd be close to the first ones, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I remember watching them and I remember thinking like, oh, look at them, they're kind of like us. So yeah, I get that. I think when it's realistic, like our one is realistic, isn't it? There wasn't no
Yeah.
falseness. There wasn't no silly activities. There wasn't no put on moments. So it was just exactly what we would be doing in our life on that time. And I think that's what people like to see. I think people love to see the normality. Even if it's not normal, even if our life, as much as we think we're normal, we're not. But it is our norm, and that's
There's a
what
lot of
people like to
normal
see.
stuff in there, like picking dog shit up and doing the bins and doing my own stuff and
School runs.
school
and
runs.
kids
That's as
and-
normal as it comes. Going shopping and whatever.
But then there is trips to Monaco.
Obviously,
trips
there's
to
other bits
Americas
and trips and stuff, and there's a lot of normal stuff in there. But obviously, I'm world heavyweight champion, so there's going to be a lot of other things as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's as real as it gets. To be fair,
Yeah, no, like there's even some interactions between the siblings and between yourselves and then the parents and the kids. And I was like, that's my own family. I'm seeing shades of my own family in there. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
They was there.
But when, like, I don't know how much or if you've seen all of it back, but has there been any episode or any scene or anything like that where you watched it back and maybe learned something about yourself or about each other or noticed something you might not have previously known or realized about yourselves?
I didn't. I don't think it was that I didn't know it, but I remember watching back and seeing like Tyson's mental health is a bit of a main factor in the show, and I know today we seem to have spoke about it a lot, but I found watching it was kind of, I think it's so normal. I think it's such a normal day-to-day routine, but watching it back, it's not normal. Like our life is not a normal way of living. So if Tyson sort of his highs and his lows, or his sort of, crazy OCD behavior starts kicking in, and I just carry on with it. And then, but when I watched it back, I was like, no, that's really out there. That's pretty severe. And at the time, I think it's more normal than it is. So yeah, I watched them bits and I found that strange to watch. I think that was the only way I could put it, but I never found none of it shocking. Let's put it that way.
And Tyson, I was chatting to Guy Ritchie, director Guy Ritchie, a few weeks back, and we were talking about Snatch, and we were talking about Brad Pitt, and how Brad at the time he had told me that he based that character somewhat on a character from Father Ted because he loved Father Ted, and then Guy went on to say that he felt that movie was almost like predicting a future that he could never have predicted, and that we have someone like yourself now who is now so famous, but that character is so beloved. Do you have any thoughts on the movie Snatch or that character in particular?
Are you comparing Tyson to Brad Pitt in that movie where
yeah, I
In
think
a
I'm
way.
as good looking as Brad Pitt in that movie
I
for
think
sure.
he definitely is good looking. I always had a
And
feeling
yeah,
for Brad Pitt.
One Punch, Mickey O'Neill, he was a good fighter as well. And it was one of my favorite all-time movies, Snatch. When Guy Ritchie did that, we watched it in the movies. I was only a young kid. Great movie, Guy Ritchie's a great director, and hopefully in the future we do something together. We make a real fight movie from a
Tyson
real
Fury
fighter.
movie.
Maybe we get
Well,
Brad
like
Pitt back in it. Who knows?
like that's Snatch 2 right there, and I think that's that sorted. But like he Guy himself, he told me he's a massive fan of yours, so there's always that.
I'm due to have a couple of meetings with Guy about some movies.
Oh,
That could be some big news coming in the future. That's a little preview.
Okay, I'll definitely keep an eye out for that one.
Thank you.
When I was telling people in here that I was chatting to yourselves today, so many people had the same question that they asked me to ask, and it is obviously we're calling from Ireland, so the strong Irish roots. And was there the opportunity there to represent Ireland at the Olympics in 2008 for
It
you?
was going back a long time ago. In 2000, I think I moved to Dublin in 2007 after I went to the World Championships. I was training in a couple of boxing clubs. I was training originally with the Holy Family in Belfast. Then I changed to the Smithborough Amateur Boxing Club in Monaghan. And I was in Dublin with a couple of relatives of ours training. And I moved over there. I was at Road, Dublin. I actually found my Irish driving license, Paris, last week, didn't I?
Yeah.
It was like this little pink picture card license. It was like
No,
a paper and it was folded over. And I had my little picture on the inside with my address on it. And in that time, I went to America and I boxed over there for Ireland. And then I went to Poland and boxed for Ireland. And then when it comes to the national championships in 2007 or 8, they decided to say that, oh, no, Tyson's not Irish anymore. I already represented Ireland twice internationally. So it was this big stink, a big scene. And
It was your heritage question, wasn't it? It
Yeah,
was the fact that
it
your
was.
granny was Irish and your
Yeah.
granddad.
Yeah.
They didn't have birth papers because being from gypsies, they didn't have birth papers. So there was no way of sort of proving. And it was something to do with that, wasn't it?
There was a lot of stuff, but it was quite political back in then day. And I just always believed that they robbed Ireland of a gold medal, really, in the Olympics in 08. Because years later, in 2012, it was probably the hardest title I ever had to win because there was so much behind it that went into it, so much effort to get it. I won the Irish title in 2000 and... When was it, Paris? 2012?
When you was professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won the Irish title. You've
I-
won them all, haven't you?
Yeah. So it was very refreshing for me to get that.
And just one last quick one, because I know you are a fan, because we do now have a gold medal winner with Katie Taylor. Do you have any advice for her future? Because I know both you and she have goals for Crow Park. So anything at all you might have to say about Katie?
So Katie is a legend in this game, this boxing. She's pioneer for women's boxing. She started it all. She was the first one of this high level boxing. So she's a legend in the game, and she's coming off a loss, and she just needs to dust herself back off and get back on the horse and get back to winning ways. Because everybody adores Katie. No one's got anything bad to say about her. She's just a legend. She's a legend of woman, you know what I mean? And anytime she wants to come down to the gym, she wants to have a break and come from wherever she is in America, training on our island, come to Morecambe Bay, do a bit of training with us. We've got Irish Andy Lee over here as well, sometimes training camp. So it's she's welcome anytime, and get back on the horse and get back to work.
Tremendous. Tyson Paris, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
All the best. Thank you. Got the belts, all the money, all the fame. But our biggest achievement will always be my family. 3, 2, 1. Cheers!